is at home. Brayo anasema gava yetu hapa Kenya. Nowadays viongozi wamekuwa wenye tamaa, wanafyonza wananchi wa chini. Yule mlipa ushuru ndio mwenye ameathirika pakubwa. So yeye anasema ni kama gava ndio ina to let down, okay? Kim anasema kazi majuu, somehow some people have been using the name of CS of Labor conning people like me. Kim is a victim. I am so sorry. I wish you could get more of that. Brayo anasema gava yetu. Okay, let's hear to Kim again. Kazi maju, somehow some people have been using the name of CS of Labor conning people like me. We were in a certain process in the name of we are being taken to Ukraine. We even signed the contract, but ni kuzungushwa ndio usign since we signed it 6 months ago. Nothing going on. They took money from us, but ni job money gone. We are around 100 people. We were paying 50,000 each. No refunds. Kim, you are a victim. And I am so sorry for that. Now, when you listen to Kim, yeah? Juu tulisema tunarudi na wewe. Kim anasema they were conned by some people who are using CS's name, right? Do you think Kim ndo akona shida hapa juu maybe ya kufanya due diligence yao? Ama who is to blame in this situation? Do ishaenda. Who is to blame?
Mi kwanza naanza na gava. Gava is to blame. No. So in all this that is happening, if gava ingezafuatilia mazee kuhusu us netizens wao na kila kitu na citizens wao, ndio za kuwa fiti. So I blame the government.
You blame the government.
Thank you.
Linda, he blames the government. Let me come to you, sir. Hello, sir.
Yes.
Nataka tu focus niyo story ya Kim juu imeniguza mahali. Kim has been conned, right? Na anasema ni watu wanatumia jina ya CS, right? Do ishaenda. Now, do we blame Kim for not doing his due diligence to make sure these people are legit? Ama gava ndio ijafanya enough to make people aware about the legit way of going through this process?
Okay, thank you so much. My name is Caleb Gidi, and concerning the issue of Kim, okay, I can say, for one, it is always said that the grass is always green on the other side, but apparently, the case is that it is green where it is watered.
Right.
So, Kim has, but the Paul Kim Sana, I understand it can be very frustrating. Maybe you have gathered the resources and all that, and then you find yourself in such a situation. But now, when you look at that situation, we have to look at how the government is presenting the case to the people who are applying for these jobs. We trust the government, we trust them to make the right decisions. But now when you find that a person has trusted this same government, and then they go expecting to find a job, because definitely you don't expect the government to do any wrong, especially when it is coming from the high offices. But now he finds himself in such a situation. But now, obviously, you have to look at the situation on both sides, because you don't throw the bathing water together with the baby. Yeah, so it is in due diligence for us to do some groundwork, because people take advantage of such opportunities. Like for so many conmen, they take an advantage of such opportunity. They come posing as legit people from the government, but at the same time, their intent is a malicious one. So it is good for the people to do some due diligence, to do some background checks, to ensure that they not find themselves in such a situation.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Thank you so much, Linda. And before we go to that end, I want to hear from this dapper guy over here. Niko na swali for you, yeah? Again, people are being conned, okay? Again, story ya Kim. Again, I'm sorry. What do you tell Kim? Ni yeye akufanya due diligence yake, ama gava ndio ikufanya awareness enough for the people?
So thank you for this opportunity. I'm Victor Franklin. I am glad to be in this conversation today. And one thing that I know, ni eti sisi tumekuwa much vulnerable to the extent kwamba ukiona there are many conmen, there are many agencies coming in place, kumaanisha indeed there is that massive engagement from the other community. So kumaanisha if we have real opportunities out there. We have real people who are really earning high paying jobs and everything. So it doesn't mean that everything it has come, because there are real stories kwamba mse ameenda majuu but ampata a very good opportunity. So, and the problem is wase wako the other side, the diaspora part of it. So the only stories which they bring on ground, the only thing ambayo wana post in the social media, it is only the positive part of it.
Yeah.
The positive, you'll never see struggles, you never see the negative part of it. So many people from this other side, ukiangalia from Kenya, utapata kwamba wanaona huku ni kuzuri, but little did you know kwamba kuna struggles pia ambayo hatujaonyeshwa.
Yeah.
So the problem ni the source, which is our motivation kwenda kule majuu. If it is, are there nice roads, are there good education systems, are there good healthcare systems, can we create our own in this place before we think of going the other side of it? We have architects here, we have good doctors, we have medical engineers. If there are better healthcare system the other side, they are capable of making it even within this Kenya. Because someone once said kwamba, is it a must that we be global? Is it a must that we be global in the global world? Can we be global even within this Kenya?
Thank you.
So the aspect of Kim Kwakond, we may not blame him for the reason. Kwa sababu nowadays scammers pia, they have grown antennas. Wanajua the best way to lure youths, wanajua the best way to bring the perspective kwamba there are good opportunities out there. Yeah. Nowadays people have even offices. They have opened agencies. Yeah. Even you'll find them with certificates. Kumaanisha they are doing everything to build their credibility and trust. So once you see them, they are professional. You'll see them with very shiny suits and everything, just to lure you into that motive. So we can't blame kwamba, because in the rising world of the digital world, we have access to information. So, and because the agencies and the scammers have grown their antennas towards this, so it is our take. If they know the best way to lure us, then we should not go in the business of blaming the government, blaming the agencies, blaming the scammers, because most of them,
Thank you so much. Yeah.
they say it is a hassle to them. So
Absolutely, it's actually very valid. Your sentiments are actually valid because you've raised both concerns. It's more like a double-edged sword, whereby yes, you can depend on the government. There are people, there are real stories of success, but there are also the other side of the story where people are struggling. That's a valid question, and also infiltration of agencies that are not well recognized by the government. But well, let's get to listen from you, from what he has said. Yes, people want to live the American dream, the Saudi Arabian dream. From what you've heard from him, what's your take?
Thank you so much. My name is Anya, and I'm the Chief of Staff at Z Mentorship Endeavors. And my take on it is that I would say at one angle, the government is failing to enforce laws that limit too many agencies, because when there are too many, you find that that's when the scamming begins, and then you find that that's when the people start blaming the government. If there are limited agencies and there are laws enforced to mitigate these many people who are bringing in the many agencies, we will not be having some cases, as in hazitakuwa overboard. So to keep at few agencies that are legit, watu watakuwa sawa, hawataibiwa. Plus ingine ni the government is taking advantage of these people. You might find that kuna kitu ina open up, like kuna opportunity ina open up, we need like 100 people to go to US. But then because we are we want to go abroad.
Yes.
Unapata watu wana apply wengi. And now someone finds that opportunity kujisaidia. Because venye tu tumesema ni hustle. Mtu anapata hiyo opportunity ya kujisaidia. So anajisaidia. Wale wenye wanahitajikana wataenda, but nyi wengine mnabaki mkiulizanga. So you remain with the hope of admin nitaenda cause hadi alienda.
Yeah.
So here it's we also need to do our homework as well, as in like tuangalie, let us dive deep, tujue if this agency is real, as in the government. Kama niliona last time, like I'm giving an example, if I saw last time watu walienda 80%, 20 wakabaki, would I want to fall under the 20%? Let me also ask myself if I want to. So if it fails, no, it's your part you're failing, and also the government side or the agency side.
Well, that's a
Thank
good
you.
way to see it. Miss Kai.
Thank you so much, Linda. You know, our guy here said that it's tunasikia tu only the positive stories.
Yes.
But I am a heavy consumer of TikTok.
Yes.
Na pale TikTok live you'll see people in Saudi like when you wameenda kufanya kazi ya maids. ya
Most of them
kukuwa
are
maids.
nannies. Yes.
And you know, and they're really complaining, they're crying online how it's terrible. They're
Others actually want to return home. Have you ever seen that flight that returns from Saudi Arabia? People are celebrating because they just want to get home.
they just want to come home.
Yeah.
Yet they went there celebrating, you know?
Yes.
Right, Kagena, watu wasaidia kwa nsemaji leo?
Well, indeed, on that note, I'm still asking myself questions. You see, in those countries that we are mentioning as high risk, quote unquote, we've had the government building safe houses. Leads you to questions. Instead of solving the issue, you are creating a fort for people to run to when maji yakizidi unga. But even as we continue with the conversation, just looking at a bit of more of numbers. Now, these ones are the latest, released today by the Kenya National Bureau of Statistics under the National Economic Outlook. And here it says that the number of self-employed and unpaid family workers in the modern sector in Kenya rose from 172,000 in 2023 to 175,000 in 2024. And wale watu wenye they're not in formal employment, ama anashikia bradhake biashara, ama employed kwa nyumba. And then we also had an interesting number here, is that the nominal wage increased by 7.2%. But here's the interesting bit. Yani inamaanisha zile pesa zilitumika kulipa mishahara zile increased by 7.2%. But sasa the interesting bit is that the private sector was leading with 70.6%. This is despite having a couple of companies closing down here in the country. And so there's hope, one, in terms of opportunities. But before that, let me introduce the panelists who will be helping me look at this conversation this evening. I have James Mulamba, who is a revolutionary. I hope I got that right.
Yeah, indeed.
We also have Duncan Okindo. Mnasema kazi majuu. Yeye ameenda hiyo majuu kutafuta kazi. He will be giving us his story. But let me start with James. When we talk about, kazi majuu, as a Kenyan youth, from the legal field, I understand, are you not interested, or are you interested in these opportunities as a person?
Personally, I have never been interested in working outside this country. I have not been interested in looking for a job outside Kenya. Because if we are all fixated on going abroad and working abroad, then who is going to fix this nation? There are Kenyans who've traveled abroad to work certain industries and certain sectors, but they have been unable to come back to this country, or unwilling for that matter, because they see the same mess they ran away from, and they do not want to come back to the same mess. So they are in Kenya as tourists. They hop into Kenya, and in the next 1 month they are gone. You have relatives, you have friends who are working in the USA, who are working in Canada, Denmark, and all these other countries that have better economies. But those Kenyans do not waste time in Kenya. They come here and visit us as tourists. They come, look at their investments, probably look at a house they are building at home, look at some of their businesses and how the businesses are doing, then jet out as fast as possible. Why are they running away from their motherland?
So
Because
you
this is not
choose
a country to
build
live
from
in.
within.
They choose, yeah, we choose to build from within.
All right. And now, most people are engaging in this conversation from a third party point of view. When they're saying, these people, you see, our brothers. But here we have Duncan. Before we go to your story, you were here when the CS Labour was speaking during Labour Day. Also, the president mentioned something to do with the Kazi Maju program. From where you sat, how did you process this information?
Okay. The president's speech and also Mutua's speech had the intention of correcting the system, which was not bad, but also, you know, speeches without actions don't make sense.
All right. Now, to your story. Kila mtu anasema kazi maju, kazi maju, kazi maju. Tell us what happened to you. I understand you left Kenya, went for work, became a billionaire. Did you become a billionaire? We'd love to hear how your story went. So, you left Kenya. What took you out of Kenya?
Okay, I didn't have any intention of like going outside to work because I had a job in before leaving Kenya. Now, what made me go outside is the situation I was in. There were some responsibilities that were pressing me, like to look something that will help me sort them. See, so I resigned my job, in fact, to go abroad to like to know how to like I can fix these problems so that I can come back and continue with what I was doing.
Probably, what were you doing here? And when going abroad, what job were you going to do? Did you already had you already applied for a specific job and they invited you? Were you going with the hope of getting a job?
I was going knowing that I'm going. So I was going knowing the job that I was going to do, but now the way the process was kind of tricky.
All right, take us to the process in terms of, did you go with the agency? Did you go by your own? Was this job through the government? Was it through a private entity? How did it come to be?
Okay, I met this agent that I've known for like a while, and she had jobs in Thailand. And at that point, she told me she didn't have any job in other countries. It's only in Thailand, and they were recruiting many youths. So since I wanted to like go and work there, and also the money that they quoted was good for me. So I grabbed that opportunity, and she processed everything for me. And it was my first time now going outside. I didn't like notice any red alert. So she processed, and within a week I was in Thailand. But now in Thailand I was trafficked to Myanmar. See, so
when you say traffic, did they like abduct you, our style? Did they or did they lure you into Myanmar?
okay, they have their own way of working things, and you can't notice easily unless you are very, very keen. Okay, you see, from here, you're told to follow instructions so that the process can be smooth. And so, because you don't want like to mess up with the process, you want the job, so you follow instructions. So when you reach Thailand, there's someone who is there to pick you. That guy takes your passports, puts there in the vehicle where you sit, and then drives you off. Since you know that you're being driven like for a short period of time to where you're going to work, you just chill and enjoy the view of Thailand. As the more you enjoy the view of Thailand, the more the journey becomes longer. No. Okay.
Become a tourist.
Yeah.
So sasa mmefika Myanmar. Is the job you were promised fair?
Okay. Ukifika Myanmar, now ndio unakutana na the horror part of it. Because yes, umepromisiwa, like for example, mimi nilikuwa naenda kufanya customer service, unafika huko hivi unapata it's something else and it is forceful. Unaona, for me I found they were doing scamming. They were scamming the whites, so it's something that you are being forced to do it whether you like it or not. Umeshafika, you can't peleka yourself back. Yeah, you don't know the way. Na uji kwanza, in short, you don't know if you're in Myanmar. Unaona?
So unadhani bado uko Thailand maybe. So kulikuwa na mshahara or something?
Mshahara ikuwa. Walikuwa wamesema yes kuna mshahara, but now unalipwa the first month and then that month hiyo mshahara kwanza before ipate ni like umetoa jasho videdil kabisa, because kitu ya kwanza kuna fines huko hivi. I've never seen that in any place nimework before. Kuna fines, like you're being fined for petty things, kama for example kujikuna, kuyon, like kucross legs ukiwa umekaa kwa kiti.
Hizo zote unakuwa fined, inakatwa tu kwa mshahara.
Heavily kwanza.
Hajapenda venye
umeion hiyo ni 2k ime drop 2k ya huko ni 6k. Unaona, ukiongea na msee kwa kampuni pia napigwa 5k, you're almost 20k ya huko.
And how did you make it back? Na mlirudi mkiwa wengi?
Yeah, kulikuwa na Wakenya wengi sana na tulirudi almost 150. Wakati situation tuliona imekuwa noma kabisa, tuli try to reach out to like Kenya, pia kwa gava ya Kenya, and then ikatake like almost a month hivi ya kuvurutana hapa na pale. Aka reach out to the ambassador wa Thailand, so ambassador wa Thailand alikam ku reach out to us kuona venye anaweza tusaidia kutoka huko, cause ilikuwa ngumu for us kuwa released kutoka kwa rebels. You know the Chinese mafias hawachekangi na msee.
Walikuwa Chinese, the employers.
Mafia. So she watch movie ya Mafia. Yeah, like venye ambassador reach out to us, pia yeye mwenyewe hakuwa anaruhusiwa hata kanyage Myanmar. Akikanyaga huko ni risasi, ilikuwa mbaya kabisa, azin.
So Gava facilitated your return?
Yeah.
Okay. That's interesting right there. Indeed, the conversation continues right here. That is the experience from Duncan, whose story did not become very successful halfway, but at least successful in the sense that he made it back to Kenya. The conversation continues. We'll be headed for a short commercial break, but we'll be coming back right after that with Mulamba and the conversation right here continuing. And remember, keep engaging us through the social media platforms that we have at K24 TV, at Kameme TV. We have also here who says there's an important question imeulizwa hapo. Tumejaribu tukashindwa. Great insight from young stars hapo. Leo 3 bodies zilitoka majuu na walikuwa wameenda job. Do we have standard procedure kwa hii mambo ya majuu ama ni kutoka na kwenda tu? Alright, that is also asking very critical questions there. We have Erasto anasema, mine is that we have pressure on reports that we get on high salary earned. And then if you can raise 300k to pay, I think he means ndio wende majuu, why can't you start a business here? Huyo anasema kama Mulamba tujenge hapa ndani. And that is Kena, they're saying ni Kena. I will agree with Manjau's sentiments that the government is to blame for these job Maju scams. I saw last week on TV youths crying how they've been scammed and the people concerned were unable to give light on the truthfulness of how it's being done. And then it's been conducted. Na feel ni kama tuna deal Gava imeshindwa na job yao. That is Kena right there questioning the authorities and how they've been conducting the entire process of Kazi Maju. This conversation continues right here on Gen Z Manifesto. Usiende mbali.
People Daily, Kenya's trusted newspaper, is making history as the first daily to go fully digital. By transitioning from print to the PD News app, we are delivering the same exceptional journalism you've relied on for years in a completely new way to experience it. It's news for today and the future. No paper, no waste. Just real-time updates and customizable stories. This is a leap towards innovation